So we went on a amazing fall last-minute camping trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here in Alaska, out to Colorado Creek Cabin and Two Rivers in the Chena state rec area.
And Joanna, were you very excited to go?
No,
Well, how come?
because I didn't want to go.
There was lots of fun things to do here at the house, and a long four-wheel ride on trails was not her thing.
Yeah, it's kind of bumpy with three of us on the four-wheeler. It does have a back seat on it. It makes it a little more comfortable, but Joanna's just 8, so she's pretty small. But yeah, it was maybe 30 miles. We saw lots of ptarmigan. You could see one along the road.
Grouse. So
Sorry, grouse.
how many did we see, Joanna?
27.
27.
27 in 2 days and almost that many. How many miles do you think we went?
A lot. So anyway, we got to the cabin, and is disappointing when you got there, Joanna?
No.
She had a really good time once we got there. It's a nice little old trapper cabin. It was kept heat really well in the fall at the time. It had a wood stove inside and some bunks to sleep on and a table.
And when we got there, we just started making meal, of course, because it was late in the day. And we found that it was better to make it outside just for the type of meals that we had. So we were sitting outside, and all of a sudden, we heard some grunting all the way up to the left here in this picture, way up the valley. And I thought, I'm going to start making some noise back. So I started grunting and scraping trees, and just you'll hear that here in the next in this next video. But it was just trying my best. We've lived here for 16 years. And sometimes I've heard this work, and this time it did. But it took quite a while, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the moose was going to be coming from here.
Yeah, we thought he would have to pass through this hallway here, sort of, as you look out. There's Adam making the noise, but we thought he'd have to pass through here for sure. So Adam and I were looking intently out this direction, and then over our shoulder, Joanna says, "Oh, is that the moose you're looking for?" And so she spotted it before we did.
It was amazing. Yeah, we're staring. And how long were we cooking dinner? This was like 20, 30 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good long time from when we first heard him until he showed himself.
And did you think we were going to see anything, Joanna?
No.
Me neither, actually. I mean, it's so dense, and these animals, these gigantic size of a small Ford Focus, they just don't have any problem disappearing, do they?
Yeah, it's amazing. They do. A male moose, a large bull can weigh 1,200 pounds. There I am scraping the tree to make some noise because they rub their antlers on trees when they're in the rut. And this is beginning of October, so it's getting cold. It's the time when they start acting differently, because usually it's very, very rare to see a bull moose. In fact, I don't think we've ever seen one in this area or on that trail. Not that we've been to this cabin a whole lot, but they're rare in the wild. But during the rut, they act so different, and you can call them in.
So just like humans that are crazy with hormones, these animals are too. They'll do just the most ridiculous, unsafe thing. And here we've got a fire. Here we're making noise and talking and not thinking he's going to come in. The only thing we had to our advantage was that he was in the rut. He was he?
In the rut, yeah.
Everything was, he was upwind, so that I guess is one advantage. But I don't know if I'm calling right. I don't know if I'm scraping right. But he was in the rut, and he didn't care. So here shortly, Joanna, what would happen, Joanna?
I do.
So we're looking up this little hallway, and all of a sudden, Joanna starts saying, "Look, look, look, look." I mean, really loud. And here in this next video clip in the next minute or so, he's just standing there, and it's amazing. And he's like really close, isn't he? Was he big?
Oh, yeah, he was big. I mean, bulls get bigger for sure. He had You'll see a nice rack on the one side with 2 brow tine, and then the other looks more like a little antler, a little deformed or something. But he was a good size, and we stood there and watched him for quite a while. He would, when he started to lose attention, Adam would grunt at him again, and he'd perk up and look at us, and he was trying to figure us out. But eventually, he knew we weren't a challenging moose or anything like that, so he wandered off.
Yeah, we were the only ones there. There were some airplanes flying over small aircraft, but you could hear him, and I wasn't able to record anything, but you could hear him. Obviously, I was grunting a lot, but here he is. He all of a sudden joined us, just like, look over here, and it was an area that we did not even expect. Did you expect to see him there? The bathroom is right to the right of this. And there he is. He's just standing there 50 yards away, if that. And he's just got that crazy paddle on the one side.
Yeah. And the camera, it's just a phone camera, and it looks fuzzy, but in real life, he looked a lot closer. Whoops, there's my head. And you could, with your naked eye, he was a lot closer, and it was fun to just watch him. He's looking at us, we're looking at him, and yeah, it was really neat.
He would even lick his nose or smell the air, one of the two. I'm not sure which, but there he goes. He's licking the air. But when he did start to walk away, we could hear him grunting in the background, couldn't we, Joanna?
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. He was not afraid of us, was he?
Mm-mm.
So anyway, it was amazing. Was a little bit scary too, Joanna.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't something that we expected to see. It was kind of surprising. But was it one of the favorite things that you had for the whole trip?
Yeah.
For me too, especially just because to be able to share it with Joanna, be able to share it with Charlotte. And it's not like, we planned this at all, but we heard this thing. And for about half an hour, we worked at trying to call it in. So next time you hear some kind of noise at the right time, be observant. And we just, in a lot of ways, just were at the right place at the right time in the fall. So we thought he'd appear here in this little hallway, and he didn't. He reappears back on the other side, doesn't he? Or does he reappear on this side?
He just walked off.
Hmm. No, I think he appears right here to the left of that birch. Anyway, so there's the outhouse there. The Colorado Creek Cabin is available at what website?
Oh, I don't know, DNRalaska.com or something. If you search Colorado Creek Cabin in Chena State Rec area, you can reserve it.
It's only accessible in the summer from the Compo Trail, and it is not accessible in the summer through Chena Hot Springs Road, correct?
Correct.
Oh, there he is. There he is again.
Yeah, you're right. Then winter, it's a lot easier to get out there once it freezes and snows. But the cabin isn't super warm on a cold winter day, so maybe spring would be good.
Yeah, I would not want to spend the night there. The stove is really 30 years old. It'd be nice if DNR would watch this video and put a new stove in there and fix a window that was broken, and the door is just leaks a lot. So my hunch is this is a best for summer, and maybe that's why they haven't fixed it up. They don't want people out there in the winter. Take a lot of work to fix it, but we really appreciate their work there. If you do go, take a small chainsaw. There was hardly any wood there at all, and on your way, if you see down an old wood, cut it up, because there's nothing down in this whole area. It's all been gleaned, and there's nothing but swamp where this moose is standing here looking at us. So if you need dry wood, which you will, want to leave some behind as well as use. That's the law of Alaska. Is you always leave a lot of good wood for the next person, and then it recycles, obviously, and dries inside the cabin. But make sure to bring a small chainsaw. What else should they bring, Charlotte?
Oh, I don't know. It's just your typical trapper cabin with bunks and table and stuff. There's no cook stove. There's no lantern. So yeah.
It's pleasant, nice event. But the trail, Joanna, tell us about the trail for the Colorado Creek cabin. What was your favorite?
It was fun. It did a lot of crazy turns and S turns.
Huge amount of S turns, and and John Underwood, right? He made this trail. What, maybe 10 years ago?
Less than that, I think. But yeah, recently.
And he did a fantastic job, as he's done on all his trails. We live in an area where he did he do this Two Rivers ski trails as well?
I think so. I think so.
Anyway, there's some trails that you'll go on in life that are filled with erosion and all kinds of problems. But when John Underwood does a trail, at least the ones I've been on, they never erode. They're smooth. This one has been here. I don't think it's been touched by a blade, a maintenance blade for 10 years, 8 years. And it was perfect. So hats off to John Underwood and the work that he does. But anyway, so this moose was a lot of fun. It's just a really neat thing to be able to get out into the woods, take a quiet break, and do something different. It's not every time that you're going to see a moose like this. We've been doing this for this type of stuff just an instant when the weather's good in Alaska. You just go for it for almost 15, 16 years. So it's a good way to take a break from some of the stresses of life and just do something totally different that's bigger than you. And so we had a really good time, and we'd encourage you guys to go out into the White Mountains and to the Chena River State Park. There's all kinds of cabins available, but even tenting would have been a little bit chilly this time of year, but very doable. So, well, Lord bless you guys. Please watch some of the other videos that we've got here on this Practical Porters YouTube channel. This is kind of one of our first nature ones. I do have some snowmobile ones, and I'm going to just keep posting some good functional spiritual ones, as well as some good nature practical ones as well. And so we'll do some of both, and just keep a good mix of how to be a normal Christian here in Alaska. All right. Well, Lord bless you guys again, and please go out and enjoy what Alaska's got to offer with your family. Don't just do a man's thing only, which is typically what this is. But without my wife and daughter, I wouldn't have seen this moose, would I? No. Mm-mm. All right. They're going to get back to homeschooling. They've walked away from the microphone, and so I guess I'm on my own here. All right. I'll let the rest of the video play out. And we did not shoot any grouse this time. My daughter has got the hunting license this year. For whatever reason, I did not get one. Kind of wish I would have. We would have had all the grouse we'd ever wanted. But this year we didn't get any grouse or moose. We've just had other things going on. But alrighty, I'm going to stop yapping. Special treat for seeing that.